Hello, history enthusiasts. Welcome back to Historical Highway, where we journey through the past's fascinating tales. Today, we're taking a different route, exploring a lesser-known aspect of World War II, the destruction of cultural heritage that reshaped our historical landscape forever. Imagine, if you will, cities not just battered by warfare, but stripped of their historical heartbeats. It's a story that's as heartbreaking as it is crucial to remember. The Campo Santo of Pisa. Let's embark on our historical journey in Italy, within the mesmerizing confines of Pisa's Piazza dei Miracoli. Here, the Campo Santo, an awe-inspiring monumental cemetery, proudly stood as a beacon of the Renaissance era's artistic and architectural prowess. More than a mere burial ground, the Campo Santo was a cultural sanctuary, its walls lavishly adorned with early Renaissance frescoes that captivated onlookers with their vibrant colors and intricate details. An impressive collection of Roman statues and sarcophagi, each a masterpiece in its own right, added to its grandeur, narrating tales of a bygone era of splendor. But in July 1944, the brutal realities of World War II shattered this haven of art and history. A single artillery shell, a harrowing product of the conflict that engulfed Europe, struck the Campo Santo with unforgiving force. The impact set the wooden roof on fire, and what followed was a heart-wrenching spectacle of destruction. As flames engulfed the structure, centuries of artistic legacy were reduced to cinders and rubble. The once vibrant frescoes that lined the walls suffered immense damage, their beauty and stories fragmented into unrecognizable pieces. The marble sarcophagi, painstakingly carved and preserved, bore the brunt of the inferno, many irreparably damaged. The aftermath of this tragic event was a landscape of cultural ruin. Art historians and restorers faced the daunting task of salvaging what remained. The post-war restoration efforts, though relentless and driven by a deep sense of loss and responsibility, could only partially revive the former glory of the Campo Santo. Many of the frescoes were restored, yet they now exist as echoes of their former selves, reminding visitors not just of the artistic skill of the Renaissance, but also of the fragility of cultural heritage in the face of human conflict. Despite the tragedy, the Campo Santo continues to stand today as a symbol of resilience, its story a poignant reminder of the cost of war far beyond the battlefield. It serves as a testament to the enduring spirit of human creativity and our collective responsibility to preserve and honor our cultural legacy. The Berlin State Museums. Our journey now takes us to the heart of World War II's turmoil. Germany, specifically to the Berlin State Museums, renowned sanctuaries of classical antiquities and historical artifacts. Here, amidst the tumult of war, the museums faced an unprecedented crisis. The city of Berlin, once a bustling hub of culture and history, found itself in the crosshairs of conflict. As the Allied forces advanced and the city prepared for its final stand, museum curators faced a daunting challenge: protecting centuries of human heritage. Efforts to preserve the museum's vast collections were Herculean. Precious artifacts, from ancient Greek vases to Egyptian mummies, were hastily moved to safer locations. Some treasures found refuge in underground vaults, while others were transported to remote hideaways, far from the impending battle. Despite these measures, a significant portion of the collection remained in Berlin, vulnerable to the chaos and destruction that loomed. When the Allied bombings commenced, the Berlin State Museums were not spared. The buildings, architectural marvels themselves, were battered and bruised, their once grand facades scarred by the relentless assault. Inside, the situation was even more dire. Centuries-old artifacts, each a piece of the jigsaw puzzle of human history, were caught in the devastation. The Battle of Berlin, a final and furious clash, brought with it not just military casualties, but a cultural catastrophe of immeasurable proportions. Amidst the chaos of war and the collapse of the Nazi regime, the museum's collections faced further threats. Looting, both organized and opportunistic, swept through the city. Priceless artifacts, once carefully curated and displayed, were now at the mercy of fortune. Some pieces disappeared, spirited away into private collections, never to be seen again. Others were damaged or destroyed, their stories lost in the fog of war. Today, the loss and displacement of the Berlin State Museum's treasures remain a subject shrouded in mystery and contention. The full extent of what was lost or stolen during those fateful days continues to puzzle historians and art experts. What remains is a sense of irreplaceable loss, a void in our understanding of the past. The Berlin State Museums, once custodians of human history, became victims of its most tragic chapter, the Crypt of Cocchius. Our exploration leads us to a remarkable testament of ancient engineering prowess on the outskirts of Naples, the Crypt of Cocchius. Carved through the heart of a mountain, this kilometer-long tunnel exemplified the remarkable architectural skills of the Romans. For centuries, it stood as a silent witness to the ebbs and flows of history, a timeless monument to human endeavor. This engineering marvel was more than just a passage. It was a vital artery that connected the Bay of Naples to the ancient city of Cumae, bridging geographical barriers with remarkable efficiency. Its construction, attributed to the famed Roman engineer Lucius Cocchius Auctus, was a feat of ancient logistics and craftsmanship. The tunnel, wide enough to accommodate carts and foot traffic, was illuminated by shafts that brought daylight deep into its bowels, a clever design that highlighted the ingenuity of its creators. However, the onset of World War II cast a dark shadow over this historic monument. The tunnel's strategic location and concealed nature made it an ideal site for storing munitions. This utilitarian repurposing of a cultural relic was a decision fraught with risk, one that would ultimately lead to its undoing. In 1943, as the tide of war turned against them, retreating Nazi forces made a fateful decision that sealed the crypt's fate. In an act of destruction, possibly to prevent the munitions from falling into enemy hands, they triggered the explosives stored within. The resulting explosion was catastrophic. The Crypt of Cocchius, which had withstood the ravages of time and nature for over 2 millennia, succumbed to the ravages of war. The once sturdy walls that had echoed with the footsteps of ancient travelers now lay in ruins. The tunnel, a marvel of Roman engineering, was rendered impassable, its historic value irreparably diminished. The loss of the Crypt of Cocchius is not just the loss of a structure. It is the loss of a tangible connection to our past. It serves as a poignant reminder of the vulnerability of our cultural heritage, especially in times of conflict. Today, the remnants of the tunnel stand as a somber monument to both the ingenuity of the ancients and the destructive power of modern warfare. The Nemi ships. As we continue our historical voyage, we arrive at the serene Lake Nemi, nestled in the picturesque landscape near Rome. It was here that 2 immense ships, commissioned by the infamous Emperor Caligula, once graced the waters. These were no ordinary vessels. They were masterpieces of naval architecture, floating symbols of imperial power and luxury. Each ship was a floating palace, adorned with opulent decorations, lush gardens, and intricate fountains, reflecting the extravagant lifestyle of the emperor. Their story, however, is tinged with tragedy and mystery. Following Caligula's assassination, these magnificent ships met a watery grave, sinking into the depths of Lake Nemi. For centuries, they lay hidden beneath the tranquil waters, their existence reduced to mere local folklore. It wasn't until the 20th century that these legendary ships re-emerged from the shadows of history, thanks to an ambitious recovery project initiated by Benito Mussolini. Fascinated by the grandeur of Rome's past, Mussolini sought to resurrect these ancient marvels as a testament to Italy's glorious heritage. The excavation and recovery of the Nemi ships were nothing short of an archaeological marvel. Engineers and historians worked tirelessly, employing innovative techniques to salvage the sunken treasures. It was a painstaking process, fraught with challenges, but ultimately successful. The ships, once lost to time, were brought to the surface, revealing their long-hidden secrets and craftsmanship. Their recovery was celebrated as a triumph, a rare glimpse into the opulent life of Roman emperors. However, the joy of this discovery was short-lived. In the tumultuous final years of World War II, a devastating fire broke out in the museum where the Nemi ships were housed. The cause of the fire remains a subject of debate and speculation. Some say it was a result of Allied shelling, others suspect sabotage. Regardless of its origin, the fire was a catastrophe. The ships, which had survived millennia submerged in water, were quickly consumed by the inferno. In a cruel twist of fate, what had been so meticulously recovered and preserved was reduced to ashes and charred remains. The loss of the Nemi ships is a poignant reminder of the fragility of our connection to the past. They were not merely archaeological artifacts, they were tangible links to an era shrouded in legend and extravagance. Today, all that remains are fragments and the memories of their brief resurrection, a somber testament to the destructive forces of war and the impermanence of even the grandest creations of humankind. As we conclude this somber tour, it's important to remember that wars claim more than lives. They can erase chapters of our cultural history, leaving voids that time cannot fill. In the coming months, we'll continue to explore the intersections of warfare and culture, shedding light on stories untold. If today's journey moved you, please like this video and subscribe for more content from Historical Highway. Together, let's keep the wheels of history turning.